All right, happy Friday, y'all. We made it to the end of another week. Today's video is going to just walk you through how to write one paragraph, and it's for your TDA assignment that is related to the book The Watsons Go to Birmingham. And a TDA is an acronym for the three words text dependent analysis. Don't be scared off by that. It's just a 3-paragraph essay about a text. That's all it is. So you're going to be analyzing, which is when I say analyzing, you're just going to be sharing your thinking about a text in your own words, your own original thoughts. That's all analysis means. You do this all the time with me in class when we have discussions about the book and the characters and what happened and the conflicts. Everything you say is analysis. So if you can say it, you can write it, and that's what we're going to practice today. So I'm going to walk you through the 3 parts of the introduction. You have already studied what an introduction is in the Apex lesson, and then we reviewed in the Brain Pop today, so this is not new information, and I'm sure you've all written introductions in the past. For this particular introduction, you need to have 3 parts, and they're highlighted on your organizer. By the way, if you don't have your organizer open and split screen with this Edpuzzle, go ahead and pause the video now. Get that set up for yourself so that you can work right along with me. And when I'm done with this video, you'll be done with your organizer. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so the introduction is broken down into the hook. It's highlighted in yellow. After the hook comes the book summary. And after the book summary, the very last sentence we call the thesis sentence. And that's a really important sentence. So I'm just going to take it one step at a time. We're just going to start with the hook. Okay. Now, when you are writing an essay, okay, you should always think about that first sentence or the first few sentences. Those are important sentences because you want to really hook the reader's attention, okay? Something different, something unusual, maybe even a question or a quote, something that's going to grab your reader's attention because you want them interested in what you are writing about, okay? You don't want them bored and wanting to go on to something else. You want them to read your essay. So you want to hook the reader. And there are a couple of ways to do that, and you get to decide how you want to do it. You can just have a general statement, something that may be really interesting, or the way that you write it might grab their attention. You could, instead of a statement, you could ask a question. Asking a question immediately engages the reader because what they normally want to do is answer that question. And that's a good way to hook the reader. You could also start with a related quote. When I say related, it needs to be related to that theme that you chose a couple days ago in class. And if you didn't choose that theme, or if you forgot that theme that you chose, just look on the board. I have it all 3 written on the whiteboard. One is about family, one is about growing up, and one is about making good choices. So you want to find a quote related to one of those topics. Okay, family, growing up, or choices. And the question, by the way, that you ask, in the general statement, all of those, whatever hook you decide, should be connected to your topic, okay? And the third way to hook the reader is you could just write a definition. You could go literally to dictionary.com, and if you wanted to, you could define your topic, family. I don't know about growing up, if you could find a definition on that phrase, or making good choices. I recommend for this particular essay, though, I recommend either asking a question or finding a related quote. And you can go and Google search quotes, inspirational quotes, family, inspirational quotes, growing up, inspirational quotes, choices. If you don't know a quote, you can find one. Okay, that's why we have the Google machine. So I chose a question, and here's my example. I wrote, does showing courage come easy to you? All right, so you know my topic is courage. That's not one of the 3 choices on the whiteboard. I'm choosing a totally different topic. I'm not doing one of the 3 that you're doing. So mine is courage. Does showing courage come easy to you? People have to find courage in their lives to help themselves and others. Sometimes it might be easy to show it, but Sometimes it might be easy to show, but other times not. I'm going to add an S right here. I have a little typo I'm going to fix. So that's my hook. I asked a little question and I made a couple of general statements about it. And it's all about courage because that's what my essay is going to be about. That's the topic. Now I'm going to pause the video. What I want you to do is to choose a quote or a question. Those are the two I recommend. Think about your topic. Those are the words that have little red boxes around them on the whiteboard, and come up with your hook for your introduction. And use mine as an example if that helps you. Okay, now you've got your hook done. The second part is a book summary. And this is a little bit easier because you've written summaries before. We've practiced this skill in ELA, and you really know this book. So it's going to be pretty easy for you to write a short summary of this book. So a book summary is 3 to 5 sentences introducing the text. You have to include the book title, and I want you to notice in my example that when I write The Watsons Go to Birmingham, I have to italicize the title and make sure all the words are capitalized except for the word to. That's how you write the title of a book. If you're typing it, you have to italicize it and write all the words in capital letters except for little words like to. So if you when you do that, make sure yours looks like mine. And I wrote The Watsons Go to Birmingham, a historical fiction novel written by Christopher Paul Curtis, is a story about an African American family living in the 1960s who want to live a normal life without having to deal with the racial issues of the time period. Yes, that was a long sentence, but I want you to notice everything I put in it. I have the book title. I have the author, Christopher Paul Curtis. You need to include the author too. I have the genre, historical fiction, and I've started a little summary of the plot. So you can use mine as a model if that helps you, okay? And I continue to give a little bit more information about the story. So I go on to say they travel to visit family in Birmingham, Alabama, and are faced with many difficulties and danger. They handle their troubles together as a family and become stronger in the end. Although many of the characters show courage, Kenny has to work a little harder at it than the rest. Now, I want you to notice I talked about courage here because that's what my essay, the topic of my essay is. So you're going to want to pick whatever your topic is and include that in your summary somewhere, like how important the family is, if that's your topic, or the importance of growing up in this book, or the importance of making good choices. So I'm going to pause the video and it's time for you to write your book summary. Make sure yours has everything in it, the book title, genre, author, and a summary of the plot. And make sure that you're mentioning the topic that you chose. Uh, and those are, like I said, in the red boxes on the whiteboard. All right, well done. Hopefully you've got 3 to 5 sentences for your book summary. Double check. Make sure you have 3 to 5 sentences. Make sure you have everything that is in the directions in your summary, and it should look fairly similar to mine. Double check periods, capital letters. Make sure you don't have long run-on sentences. Make sure that you're not using I, like the pronoun I. You're not going to use the word I in your essay at all, okay? So if you said I think or I liked this book, you need to take that out because that's not the style of this particular essay. When you write academic writing, you're not supposed to include I in your writing. So we are going down to the last part of your introduction. We call this the thesis. This is a super important sentence. This is the heart of your essay. This is your opinion that you are going to prove to be true in the body of your essay. And it's super easy to put together. So you've already decided what the theme is that you want to write about. You did that when we met. All you have to say is the most important theme in the book is that, and then you put whatever your theme is. For me, I said it's not always easy to show courage. but that's not one of your choices, okay? Remember, the choices are the ones on the whiteboard. So you pick the one that you want to write about and write your thesis sentence just like mine, but with the theme that you're going to focus on. I'm going to pause the video so you can do that now. All right, that's the end of the introduction. You should have all 3 parts, and it should look very similar to mine with your hook sentence, okay, or sentences. You might have more than one. Your book summary, 3 to 5 sentences. Make sure that you're writing in the present tense. I didn't mention this earlier. When you're writing about a book, it's never in the past tense. So you wouldn't say Kenny worked harder. You would say Kenny has to work harder, like in the present tense. They travel to visit family, not they traveled. So if you have any verbs that are in the past tense, you want to make those present tense. That's just a weird little rule for English. When you write about books and characters, they're always in the present tense. And then make sure you also have your thesis sentence, capital letters, punctuation mark. When you are done with this, you're not going to turn this in, but I do want you to raise your hand so I can come by and check your introductory paragraph organizer. And then you can end this video and move on to the next part of your assignment for today.